Who here wants to be financially free? Who here dreams of living the life they've always wanted, without worrying about bills or what the future holds? Raise your hand because I'll be very straightforward with you. There are only two paths to achieve this. Not three, not five. Two. And if you don't follow either of them, do you know what will happen? You'll stay stuck. You'll spend your whole life struggling to make ends meet, barely getting by, and in the end, you'll still depend on someone else. And no one here deserves that, right? Let's imagine you're around 30 years old today. You're working, earning about $3,000 a month. So far, so good. You pay your bills, enjoy a barbecue every now and then. But what happens if nothing changes? If your income stays the same until you retire, do you know what awaits you? Let me tell you, a tight life where the bare minimum becomes a luxury. And I'm not talking about luxury like traveling abroad. I'm talking about basic, like paying for health insurance or buying your medication. Is that what you want? Of course not. So, let me cut to the chase. There are two moves you need to make in your life if you truly want to thrive. The first one is this: live one step below your financial means. What does that mean? Simple. If you earn $3,000, learn to live on $2,000. Oh, but that's impossible. Is it? Really? The truth is, it takes discipline and strategy, but it's entirely doable. And more than that, it's essential. That $1,000 you save, you'll invest it. You'll make it work for you, generating more money in the future. I know what you're thinking right now. Oh, but living on less is hard, and I deserve to enjoy life. And that's precisely what separates wealthy people from ordinary ones. Because while some are spending everything they earn, others are building a solid financial foundation. And when you start saving and investing, my friend, the game changes. The money begins to work for you, not the other way around. And that's freedom. Now write this down. Rule number 1. Always live below your means. Spend less, save more, and invest the rest. Sounds simple? That's because it is. But few people actually do it. And then comes the second point. And this one is powerful. Become your own boss. Let me tell you something that might make you uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Historically, the people who build wealth are the ones who take the entrepreneurial path. Don't believe me? Take a look at the Forbes list. Do you know what they all have in common? They don't work for someone else. They own their businesses. They created something, invested, took risks, and that's why they are where they are. But I don't know how to be an entrepreneur. Who said you need to start big? Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean launching a multinational company tomorrow. You can start with what you know, with what you love. You can teach something you're good at, sell a product you believe in, join a franchise, or even start a partnership with someone. The important thing is to start. Because when you're an entrepreneur, the speed of your growth depends only on you. And isn't that amazing? I know that for many people, the idea of entrepreneurship seems intimidating. But let me tell you a secret. Entrepreneurship is like learning to ride a bike. At first, it seems complicated, and you're afraid of falling. But once you get the hang of it, the freedom it gives you is priceless. And it doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is starting with what you have and improving as you go. So, let's recap. What are the two paths to wealth? First, live below your means and invest the rest. Second, become an entrepreneur. Be your own boss. If you don't do this, I'm sorry, but I'll be honest. The chances of you living a mediocre life are high, and that's not what you want, right? Now, let me tell you something interesting. There's a third path, and it's the most powerful of all. When you can save, invest, and run your own business at the same time, it's like driving a Formula One car toward prosperity. You're not just building wealth, you're creating assets, security, and freedom. But this takes courage. It takes change. And I know you have that within you. Look, no one is born knowing how to manage money. No one comes into this world as an expert in entrepreneurship, but every single one of us can learn. I want you to leave here with a completely new perspective on your relationship with money and your choices. And listen, this isn't just any conversation. This is a game changer, a turning point. Because believe me, the change you want in your life starts today, right now, with simple but powerful decisions. So, going back to the main point, I talked about the two key paths, right? saving and entrepreneurship. But let me make this even clearer. When you live below your means, you're creating a financial cushion. And do you know why that's so important? Because life is unpredictable. Emergencies happen. Sooner or later, an unexpected event will come up. And if you don't have savings, you'll end up relying on loans, credit cards, or even depending on others. And that's not freedom. That's slavery. Now, when you save and invest, do you know what happens? You become the master of the game. Your money starts growing automatically, like a snowball, and it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Start small. Invest in something simple but consistent, whether it's fixed income, investment funds, or even stocks. What matters is taking that first step, because the earlier you start, the sooner you'll see results. And here's a truth no one likes to hear. If you spend everything you earn, you're sabotaging yourself. It's like running on a treadmill, thinking you're getting somewhere, but in the end, you're still in the same place. So, cut out the unnecessary, reorganize your priorities. Ask yourself, do I really need this right now? Or can I use this money for something bigger? That's how it starts. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about entrepreneurship. When you think about starting a business, what comes to mind? Opening a huge company? Investing a fortune? Forget that. Entrepreneurship is about finding a way to provide value to people with what you already know how to do. It can be small, something alongside your current job. The important thing is to start. Let me give you an example. Some people start by selling sweets in their neighborhood. Others offer online services, teach classes, or sell products. Some join network marketing. Others get involved with franchises. It doesn't matter how small the start is. What matters is the attitude. Because when you have your own business, you're building something that can grow and multiply. And more than that, you're in control. The speed of your success depends on how much you dedicate yourself, learn, and reinvent. And I know you might be thinking, but entrepreneurship is risky. And I ask you, is being tied to a fixed salary that barely covers your bills less risky? Because if you lose your job tomorrow, what happens then? So, understand this. Entrepreneurship isn't about taking reckless risks. It's about taking control of your future and your opportunities. And when you start, something magical happens. You discover you're more capable than you ever thought. And that changes everything. Now, let me share something deeper with you. Do you know what really separates successful people from others? Mindset. Wealthy people don't just think about today. They think long-term. They know that every effort made now will multiply in the future. While most people live for the weekend, spend everything they earn, complain about Mondays, and let life pass them by, successful people are building something bigger. And do you know their secret? Discipline and consistency. To close this point, I want you to make a choice here and now. Stop and think. What's the next step you're going to take? Will you keep complaining about your current situation, or will you start taking action? Because the truth is simple. No one is going to do this for you. Not the government, not your employer, not your friends or family. It's up to you. Only you can change your story. Now, let's connect the dots. Imagine that you live below your means, save part of your money, and invest consistently. Imagine that, on top of that, you have your own business, something you built with passion and purpose. Can you see how that transforms your life? That's what we're talking about here. Building wealth isn't about luck. It's a series of smart decisions made day after day.